impeaching the president is not a simple thing. It requires the National Assembly, okay, to come together and say, yeah, we want him removed. But you know that partisan politics plays a very huge role in all of this. So it's not within your rights to demand the impeachment of the president. I mean, you cannot do that. That lies solely in the hands of the National Assembly, okay, and the judiciary. All right, that's about it from the messages this morning. So we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll do a recap of our conversations that have happened during the course of the week. Remember, today is Friday, and usually on Fridays, we always tend to do a full recap of the conversations during the course of the week. Do stay with us, please. Professor Patrick Lumumba on African unity.
It is not lost on me that one of the reasons why Africa cannot unite is because we have become so used as politicians in Africa to our little countries where we are treated like demigods. And because we too, we who are the led, we have treated our leaders as demigods for too long, and they now are conditioned to believe that they are God. You know, respecting leaders is a good thing because that is what is right. Once you have given people the privilege to serve you, you give them respect. But respect must be earned. Many times in my own country, in Kenya, I see the individuals, some of the individuals that we elect into public office, some are fine, but some are not. In fact, most are not. And in my rural village, they elect some semi-illiterate individual who everybody knows is semi-illiterate, and everybody knows he is not wise. But the day after his election, when he attends a forum such as this, those who invite him to speak will say, let so-and-so whom we elected yesterday share his wisdom with us. And I want to assure you that there is no magic in the ballot box. If you are a dunderhead, the mere fact that you have been elected does not convert you into anything. You just remain an elected dunderhead. And Africa has no shortage of dunderheads who are leading her in the wrong direction. The direction of disunity.
Join the conversation on KUFM's Dialogue as we introduce written voices. You can now keep the conversation going beyond 10 a.m. Send us your views on topical or burning issues of the moment, news, current affairs, or social-political issues that you may wish to share your thoughts on. It must be civil, factual, straight to the point, and in not more than 150 words, and we will give it a voice. Send your views to kufmdialogue@gmail.com or via our WhatsApp platform on 0807-552-7556. Keep the conversation going. In Dialogue, your voice counts.
Welcome back. Of course, it's Dialogue, the recap on 92.7 KUFM Benin City. So let's get started already. Now, on Monday, of course, the week before, the previous week or the previous weekend, the sad news broke that about 333 schoolboys were kidnapped from Government Science Secondary School in Kankara, Katsina State. Okay, Kankara local government area of Katsina State. So that was everywhere in the media, and we were not exempt. We took a time to have a conversation around that, and on that day, we took a look at insecurity in the north, and we had a very special emphasis on that particular abduction. Okay, remember, it was reminiscent of the abduction of the Chibok girls, the Dapchi school girls, and all that. So we had a guest via phone in elder statesman Alhaji Tanko Yakasa, a founding member of Arewa Consultative Forum, and of course a former special advisor to former president, late Shehu Shagari. He was our guest all the way from Kanu, and it was a very, very enlightening and educative conversation here on Monday. Okay. The very next day, Tuesday, we're talking about still spillover from the abduction. Yeah, remember the coalition of northern groups promised that they were going to hold the mother of all protests if those boys were not returned within a short space of time, was a certain period of time. Now they were having a meeting at the Arewa House to discuss security in the northern part of the country when hoodlums broke into the place and disrupted that meeting, destroying property in the process. So that formed part of our conversation on that day. Also, the second part of the conversation, we listened to INEC Head of Voter Education and Publicity, Mr. Festus Okoye, breaking down the just concluded by-elections in 11 constituencies across the country. And of course, there was a lot of special emphasis on Imo North senatorial election. Remember, that is, to all intents and purposes, it is a first for us in terms of our democratic process and of course our legal jurisprudence, because it's never happened before where a party goes to election without a candidate, but that happened in Imo North. So we're waiting on the courts to interpret the implications of that. But Festus Okoye took his time to explain the scenarios that could actually play out in that particular regard. So that's that from Monday and Tuesday.
All right, on Wednesday, whereby we usually have an abridged version of dialogue. That's after the first segment of IOM radio drama program. We came up still on the abduction of the Kankara students. The House of Reps and Senate yesterday, and rather on Tuesday, were at a plenary where they discussed the worsening state of insecurity in the country, and we heard some senators like Senator Sozuam, Abaribe, Ulujimi, and Musa Sani, and many other senators and House of Rep members talking about the deplorable state of our security system here in the country. And basically, we just listened to them argue back and forth concerning what to do and what not to do concerning insecurity in the country. And then we moved over to yesterday, Thursday. Searchlight comes down to Edo State, stories affecting us directly here in the state. So on the program yesterday morning, we were opportune to interview the DG of the EDSMA, Mr. Dennis Oloriegbe, on the activities of the body in maintaining rule of law on the roads, especially in this notorious one-way phenomenon, and looking at the fact that Yuletide is around the corner and Edo State happens to be the center of all states, heartbeat of the nation, of course. You have to go through us to get to the south, to get to the west, to get to the north, to get to the east. What is the agency doing to make sure that visitors coming in and also passing through would have a safe drive to and fro from home? Of course, he laid down rules, what they have put in place to make sure that Edo State is kept safe. One rule, he said, is anybody found flying one way will have his or her car, I'm supposed to put her, his or her car impounded from whenever you're being caught till next year. That's to teach you a lesson. And of course, other rules were also laid out, breaking of traffic light rules, what the state government is doing to fix faulty traffic lights that's actually causing traffic on the way, and also talked about projects that are on, like knowing your bus stop and training of drivers that are ongoing to make sure that Edo State roads are free of much traffic and accident-free this Yuletide season and moving forward. So basically, that was it for Wednesday and Thursday.
Absolutely. So maybe we should just listen to that conversation between the senators when they were having the argument before we then give you an update from Edo State here.
Mr. President, bring back our voice.
Reports about this deadly incident indicate that the attackers stormed the school premises and engaged government security agents in a fierce gun battle, forcing hundreds of students to flee and hide in the surrounding forest, while others were reportedly abducted by gunmen.
Most of us are becoming disenchanted and discouraged. Since Friday, over 300 children have been moved. Then we have security people who are just collecting money and building big houses in Abuja. and then we say that we can only pay lip service, and then we say we are representing the people who are not representing them.
The worst part of this situation is that nobody is talking to us. We're just there as if we're talking rubbish. 333 boys. That's the future of Nigeria. That's the entire two chambers put together. Mr. President, the time has come for us to take drastic action. One of them is that we can't be budgeting for dead people. If we decide that government must do something before we will produce the budget, I am sure they will be up at doing.
This Senate and indeed the National Assembly, like I said before, should never get tired. Should never get tired. Because imagine we don't discuss these issues. What else can we do? So what we need to do is to look at the architectural design of the security system in the country.
Apparently what happened next was the boys were released, okay, thankfully, but details are still sketchy, and then the numbers are still a bit ambiguous. Remember the governor of Katsina initially said it was 333, but different dailies, different newspapers are saying, some say 344, some say 343.
Some are saying 500.
You know, so we don't really know the total number of boys who were released, and they were already in Zamfara State. I mean, they had been removed from Katsina already.
If we are still to ascertain the number of boys that have been released, all they have to do is a head count. Parents, come identify your children. Those parents that did not see their children will now have to speak up, and then we can now know the number of boys that went missing and the number that came back. Because obviously these kids will be identified by their parents when they all return.
No, they say it's been difficult getting across to the parents. It's been very difficult. That's what the governor said. It was trying to get across to fathers and mothers was very difficult for that. Even up till now, they've not been able to do that comprehensively. So I listened to his interview the day before yesterday, and he made that particular point. So, oh well. Thankfully, the most important thing is that they have been released. So I think everybody is grateful about that. But I do hope that the Safe Schools, declaration should come into effect here in Nigeria. We have signed it. We have ratified it. It shouldn't just be on paper. It should actually be an active thing. So that's about it. I hope it doesn't reoccur in future. But the ripple effect is that some schools in the northern part of the country, some states have closed down their schools. Kanu,
even extended down to the southwest. Osun State has closed down.
Benue, the same thing. So, and that's the negative effects of all of this. Yeah, I mean, I think that's about it. On Thursday and on Wednesday was an expanded meeting of the All Progressives Congress Elected State Executive Committee on the 16th of December 2020. Okay, and after that meeting, we had the resolution where a communique came out of that particular meeting where the leadership and members of the All Progressives Congress in Edo State have lost confidence in the national leadership of the party, since they have shown that they are not capable of obeying the party constitution. Therefore, we hereby announce our resignation as members of the party. And number 2, it is hereby further resolved that all our members should join our other leaders and members who have earlier relocated to the People's Democratic Party with His Excellency Mr. Godwin Nogegase Obaseki and his Deputy Right Honorable Philip Shaibu. Consequently, we encourage our teaming members and leaders at all levels of the party, numbering over 150,000, to also renounce their membership of the APC and join the PDP. And some of the people whose names appeared on this as EXCO members were Anselm Ojijwa, former state chairman of the party, among others. Okay, so yesterday I had the opportunity of having an exclusive interview with Anselm Ojijwa, where I put a couple of questions to him about his leaving the party. And when I asked him, why did you choose to leave the APC and go over to the PDP, he made a couple of statements. He said a couple of things, and I've tried to condense some of the things he said. Thus, let's listen.
Well, perhaps that is when it manifested in the eyes of the public. Otherwise, prior to that time, we had been having these issues. What made it unfortunate is the fact that the leader of the rebellion in Edo State was the national chairman of the party in Nigeria. That is what makes it unfortunate. and his name will go down in history as the man who organized a coup against himself. I am satisfied that after all said and done, he himself became a victim of the seed that he sowed. He was removed from office unceremoniously. At least I was able to preserve my position until everybody else had been dissolved. So I can beat my chest to say I held forth. He could not. He went on appeal to the Court of Appeal, and they gave it to him. You must subject yourself to the rules of the party that you subscribe to, either as a member or as an officer. That you are national chairman does not make you superior to anybody in the party. It does not make you above the rules. And I'm satisfied that that is one thing that we were able to establish in the Nigerian polity.
You seem very happy.
It pains me that people who hold positions of responsibility have not even seen a copy of the Constitution, talk less to have read it. Or perhaps they read it and they thought it was just for the purpose of INEC registration, not necessarily for the operation of the party. That is the attitude. If that were not to be the attitude, you tell me why the National Caretaker Committee that is supposed to come and redress a lot of damage that Oshomole and his National Working Committee did, they went ahead and they told the same lie. That EPN that we talked about, organizing of a parallel body in APC is a cardinal offense. The Constitution provides for it. And the punishment for it is expulsion. And only NEC can expel. You would have expected that NEC of APC would have the courage to expel Oshomole and his road workers. But what has happened? They rewarded them with the leadership of the party in Edo State. And the members and the officers of the party will say, no, you can't do that. If you have the power to do it in APC, you cannot do it to us because we have the right to choose. Yesterday, we exercised that right. We chose not to accept, we chose to resign, and we chose to go to PDP.
So it was yesterday you made up your mind that you were giving the all.
Yesterday, we decided.
Okay, so that was Barrister Asebo just speaking there. I asked him the question, I said, when you announced the suspension of Adams Oshomole, Lawrence Oka and the other ones, and they retaliated by also announcing your suspension and that of the governor, wasn't that the moment the party was split? And that was why he started experiencing, well, maybe that was when he manifested to the public, but these problems were actually going on underneath before now. So, interesting days ahead here with the movement of the former chairman of the All Progressives Congress in the States crossing over to the People's Democratic Party. And political watchers, what do you expect going forward? Oh well, so that was that from Barrister Ojezwa. And subsequently I did ask him, okay, what about the governor? What happened? And he was giving us a background into how the governor himself left the party and the details, why he did leave, and the procedure and what happened and how many people or what made people follow him. Take a listen.
Oshomole was dead set to ensure that Obaseki does not become governor of Edo State. And he was ready to abuse his office to achieve that, which he did, because even as he expressed his displeasure with Godwin Obaseki, the members of APC in Edo State loved Godwin Obaseki. He has been very supportive to the party. He has given a good name to the party by his style of governance. The people of Edo loved him. And that is the dream of any political party, to come up with a candidate that is acceptable. It makes it easier for you to contest among. And that was what we said. We went to a point where every structure of the party, including the leadership across the state, endorsed a document that Obaseki was the consensus candidate. I believe it was that document that scared Oshomole to a point where he had to take the cowardly way and go and disqualify him. Disqualified him a day after the University of Ibadan issued a statement that Obaseki was indeed their student, that he graduated from that institution. They even told you what degree he got. What was their motive? And how did they expect that they would drag everybody along? That APC Edo must operate within the whims and caprices of Adams Oshiomhole. How did he ever think that he had that kind of powers? He who was a beneficiary of our benevolence. He was not a member of the party when he came to Benin. He was not. We took him in, made him our candidate, supported him throughout his case. He won, even gave him a second term. He didn't think that we deserved some recognition for that. He became the Lord and Master. Of course, that was not acceptable. So in spite of our feelings, he went ahead and did what he did. What did Obaseki do? Obaseki came back to the party. We called a meeting of the leaders across the state. In each case, we had 3 senatorial meetings. In each case, they said, it is not Obaseki or Oshiomhole disqualified. It is all of us. They said Obaseki should look for another platform. Most of them recommended PDP. And the third one was that where he goes, they will follow. It's not me talking now. It's the leaders of APC in Edo.
Any names of these leaders who decided?
Tansy Dausa, Saroida, Makosha Kamomon, all leaders of note, all leaders of APC. Because I cannot refer to EPN people as leaders of my party, as it then was. So it was unanimous. The decision for Obaseki to go to PDP was not his decision. It was a decision of APC leaders. So when you hear they say APC did not have a candidate, it was not me who said it. They went and said it because they wanted the caretaker committee to give them the support directly, to sideline us. So they went and planted that story. It was something I would have loved to say. And so when they said it for me, I was happy. The message went down.
The story did not come from you.
No. When they conducted their primaries, some people called me to interview me. And I said, no, that primaries is not authorized. And I had a letter from Victor Giadom, who was the acting chairman at the time. So what I said at that time, before the next meeting that adopted Ezeyamu as candidate, they now brought it up, put it in some national newspapers, and made it look like as if I delivered that interview the previous day. Of course, they were expecting me to come out and say, I didn't say so that they can also use it as a campaign gimmick against Obaseki. Of course, I didn't say it, and I didn't respond. I let it ride because it will hurt them, and I'm happy it did hurt them. I'm very happy about it, because what has happened in Edo is that what the result of this election is the desired result of Edo people, particularly APC members of Edo State. They had the right to choose. Somebody insisted that he will force somebody down their throat. And they said, no, you can only go so far. You cannot cast my vote for me. I was relieved that I was not a party to their activities, because they would have said I sabotaged them. I didn't participate in the election both ways. I didn't go on campaign for Ezeyamu. I didn't go on campaign for Obaseki. I was denied the right to do that which my office should do. And National was working with them. I went to Abuja after the election, and I met with the caretaker chairman. I also met with the secretary, and the secretary was telling me that Ezeyamu told them that he does not trust me. And I asked them, who should you listen to? Is it Ezeyamu, who is being sponsored by a party that I am leading? And he made that statement, you didn't ask me. You took it and you generated agents list from Abuja. Senator Ododoe, who is the secretary of the National Caretaker, he went for election. Did the list of his agents come from Abuja when he contested? So these guys, they are not serious. They are not serious. They are not honest. I even doubt their capacity. And I said so. And perhaps that's why they decided to go and pick on this impostor as caretaker chairman. Because I said they were given 6 months to organize a national convention. What have they achieved in 6 months? So what are we expecting them to achieve in another 6 months? I said so. And I'm still saying it. Even though I don't care anymore. I'm no more there. I am sorry for those who are there.
So let's get this official.
Yeah.
Have you left the All Progressives Congress?
Oh, as at yesterday, I have left.
Now what is your new party?
We announced that we circulated it. And we also said in that release that we are moving to PDP. We are politicians.
Okay. We have left the All Progressives Congress and we are now in PDP. We are politicians. I mean, he took his time to break it down. This is why the governor left initially. I did not take part in the campaign for the governor. I did not take part in the campaign for Ize Yamu, so that they will not say I sabotage anybody. But now I've decided to leave. Did this news come to you as a surprise, Orlando?
Him leaving the party. Of course, his silence during the campaign made me like, I was like, okay, this is supposed to be the party chairman. He's supposed to be active in most of all this electioneering process, and he was just sitting in the back bench. Is there something we are?
There was a faction. There was faction.
We know.
He has explained everything.
We understand that, but if we are to, address, should I say, legally appointed chairman of the party,
or elected
chairman,
by Congress.
Yes, by Congress, which is the right way to elect your leaders into party. We would refer him to the party's chairman here in Edo State. So he's supposed to be active in electioneering processes, campaigns, and other moving around. But he was just taking the backbench all of this while and just keeping mum on so many issues that would have made him to come out and speak out loud. But he was just quiet. And the one question I asked, what will be the next move? I didn't see this coming, him moving to PDP. I didn't see it coming, but I was just anticipating what will be the next move of the party chairman here in Edo State.
All right, since because it's open mic, so we have longer time to talk to us this morning, so you can call us up this morning.
0706-263-9275, 0903-939-4427, and 0812-178-9154. 0807-400-9076 is the text line.
Let's go. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. This is Eweka. I'm calling from Benin.
Oh, hi, Eweka. You're welcome. So, what's your reaction?
Thank you very much. Well, his leaving APC did not come as a surprise. In fact, if you recall, he left after the National Critical Committee dissolved party structure across the federation from national to the world level. So I believe that he left after he was sacked as the state chairman. During the election, he kept quiet and everyone knew he wasn't working for the party because there were pictures and videos online, which I believe you as a journalist saw from. Maybe you wouldn't want to credit it because it didn't come from you. That he was working with the government, was always staying with the government, even as an APC chairman in quotes. So his leaving is not a surprise. He left after he was sacked as a state chairman, so he can't be celebrated over there. But to APC, nothing has happened. The party is on course. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Eweka. Thank you for your choice of words. Hi, good morning.
Good morning. This Pastor.
Pastor Joseph, you have to be a bit more audible, okay?
Okay. You see, what I think in this very issue, this man, when this which justice can do, through the time when this issue, they humiliate him. They did not recognize him as the state chairman of APC. I mean, if you were you, what will you do? You see, I don't know. A man cannot take himself as an island, claiming that he's all and all. When you do like that, this is what always happens. Let Oshobole go and make a decision of himself. God bless you.
All right. God bless you too, Pastor. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, hi. Good morning to you.
This is Harris from Nigeria.
Oh, hi. Okay, Mr. Nigeria, you're welcome. Please go ahead.
Yeah, as a individual, as going my talk, and he's a man of the people. Right of time, I've been saying it. This man is a blessing to a district. I've been watching him carefully because he's a man that knows the future. When Osomole was behaving, turning APC around, they reduced him. They didn't know that this is a man that will last at last. So for me, Mr. Governor should be expecting victory over what they call crisis ahead, because having Joshua, you see that he didn't participate in the election. He was just watching. But meanwhile, he knows the side he was supporting. So I give him kudos. We need more people like him in those things.
Wait, when you say the governor should, I think you said, will give him victory. What kind of victory? Is he contesting elections again?
No. I need the kangaroo court cases around. So that's what I mean.
No, court cases are court cases. You don't say kangaroo. No.
Okay.
You cannot say that. A court case is a court case. All right, please. No, a court case is a court case, okay? You don't say kangaroo. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, hi. Good morning to you. What's your name?
Good morning. My name is UK. I'm calling from Benin.
Oh, hi, UK. You're welcome. Please, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to contribute. You see, this whole issue, me particularly, I'm not surprised about the former, should I use the word former state
yeah, it's former, yeah.
Former. So going to PDP, I'm not surprised because when all those things is happening the other time, I said, you didn't campaign for PDP, you did not campaign for APC. So we all knew that, yes, you have, since the governor moved, we know already that there is no way because he has never one day supported the, should I mention him now, Shomole's, this thing, what he was doing. But what I will say is that they are not going to fool us anymore. Both of them, all of them, they are not going to fool us anymore. So that's their own thing they are doing. But I just say that God should give our governor this way can see the strength to move a bit forward. But both the PDP and the APC are watching them because we are tired of both of them. We are tired. So forget about this one or this one. Sir, we are tired. That's just my contribution. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for your contribution. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning to you.
This is Barrister Egat from Benin.
Oh, hi, Barrister Egat. You're welcome. Please go ahead.
Yes. Thank you very much. First and foremost, I want to comment on the statement you made initially that Nigerians have no right to demand for the impeachment of the president.
No, wait, Barrister Egat, that is not, you are misquoting, wait, you are misquoting me. I did not say Nigerians have no right to, I did not use that expression. Now, I was referring to, hold on, please. No, you don't misquote me. This is how misinformation happens. I was referring to one particular person who sent a message, and I was saying impeaching the president is not in his hands. It is in the hands of the National Assembly. That is what I was referring to. I did not say Nigerians don't have the right to ask for impeachment. That's not what I said. Please, let's get it. There's a difference.
Okay, fine. Even if you didn't mention Nigerians,
all right.
You said the person, every Nigerian, what I'm trying to refer to is that every Nigerian, whether an individual or collectively, has the right or have the right to say, because they voted for the president to be in office, even though it is the National Assembly that has the right to effect the process and remove him, that we don't have that power. But we have the right to say, this man is not doing well, let him be removed from office. That's exactly what the point I'm trying to make. Then secondly, on the issue of Austin Ojezua, Alfred Ojezua, as the former chairman of APC, I think it is no news that he has moved to PDP. The reason being that right from beginning, we know he has been the legally accepted chairman of APC, at least recognized by the court. The person who is there as a technical committee that was put there by Ochemole is an illegal and an impostor, like he put it at that point. So what I'm trying to say is that for him to have now moved to PDP, it's long overdue. That he did not contest, he did not campaign for the APC governorship candidate and PDP governorship candidate. It's understood because he doesn't want to be accused of anti-party. Everybody knew he was supporting Obaseki, clear. But he doesn't want to be accused of anti-party as the party chairman. That was why he kept his mute and kept silent and be at the background, no matter what he was doing behind. But openly, everybody knew he was not campaigning for Obaseki, as it were. So he did it properly, because as a lawyer, he knows the right thing to do, and he did it excellently well.
All right. Thank you, Barrister Egat. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution this morning. Hello, good morning. Hello. So you have a bad line. All right, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Charles.
Morning to you.
Yeah, this is Mr. Omar Sito.
You're welcome. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much, KUFM, for bringing this information to the doorstep of our listener. I think the issue regarding Jesua, I think from this body language and from what has been happening here in the Edo State, at least all of us that have been following the sequence of events that prior to the election, I think we know that he was currently working with the governor. I think leaving APC is no problem because we saw it coming. We know it's no longer a news to us or to some of us because we saw the body language that is already with the PDP. But I just want to, my own simple advice is that as it's moving to PDP, he should try as much as possible to adhere to the strictly to the guidelines of the party because from what I heard, he's not a new member. He has to follow the sequence of events to get to where he wants to get to. Irrespective of that, I know that it is right to move from one political party to other political party. So as it's moving to PDP, there's no cause for alarm. If somebody tomorrow move from PDP to APC, I hope nobody will continue to will say there's a foul play.
But people have been moving from one party to the other. I mean, this week, four rep members crossed from PDP to APC.
You understand, when people move from other political party to big party that is so eloquent like APC, you know the noise people make about it. So we are progressive party.
We know we are a member of the APC. Well done.
Yes, I think we will stick with the APC because APC is a party, it's a progressive party. So that continue to make change because the elements is here all on ground here in Edo State. Let's see what the PDP can be able to offer in the next 4 years. Because thank God Obaseki governorship for PDP started on the 12th of November. From November to 2023, let's see what they can be able to offer. There's no caterpillar on the street. We want to see more caterpillar on the street. Thank you and good morning, Mr. Charles.
Thank you and good morning to you too. Okay, so this message says, good morning, KUFM. I'm Lagos Manoran Saye from Ego Axis. I salute you, Charles and God's love. Happy New Day to you all. The parallel APC in Edo State, according to our man, APC chairman in Edo State, Anselmo Jesua, the punishment for EPM is expulsion, and everybody in that group should be seen as having been expelled to serve as a deterrent to future selfish politicians in our state, Edo. Thank you, KUFM. All right. And this one says, as for Jesua, now that he has formally announced his movement because he left long ago, according to observation, himself and his followers should stay in PDP in peace. Ibrahim from Agbo Road. All right, Ibrahim. And this message says, Dear Charles, the defection of Jesua to PDP was expected. He only took his time to wait for the outcome of the election. He played smart and he is better for it. From Don Morgan. All right, thank you very much, Don Morgan. Okay, we're squeezing one last call for 1 minute. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning to you.
Am I on KUFM?
Yes, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm Honorable Saiki. Just calling from Benin.
You have a minute, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, on the exit of Anselmo Jesua, he was never a member of APC. Although one time he was, I'm going to call him a APC chair. But there was a time the members, authentic members of the party came out and suspended him. So all the while, even election, he works for PDP. So his exit is nothing.
Okay, all right.
PDP all the while. So we are happy that the moles and those that are trying to destroy the party have left. So the party is bouncing back henceforth. We are happy with the emergence of Colonel Mosi. We are very happy. So Anselmo Jesua has never been a member of what they call it, APC. He has been a member of PDP. So his exit is...
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. It was very interesting how someone who has never been a member of a party became the chairman of the party. This is a very interesting perspective. Okay, this is where we end this morning's edition of the program Dialogue. Join us next week for another scintillating edition of the program. My name is Charles Oporum.
I am God's Love Orlando.
Good morning.
they hear me, yo. Don't be waiting them me talk, oh. This was not what they promised us, oh. Them tell us that they go bring the change.